These highlights are brought to you by Simpson Donald Company. Simpson Donald Company are proud to continue the support of Stirling County Rugby Club and the fantastic work they do in developing the game from the youngsters all the way up to the first 15.
This afternoon we're at Bridgehaugh for the Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 1 clash between Stirling County and Ayr. Last week Stirling County got off to a flying start in the league with a 5-pointer at GHA. Ayr went down narrowly at home to Dundee. This is going to be a real tight one here this afternoon and a lot at stake for both sides. Stirling were not prepared to stand upon ceremony, however, and just a couple of minutes into the game, well, look at that drive. That certainly took Ayr by surprise. Being taken on up front by the Stirling pack, and my goodness were they being taken on up front. That drive all of 35 yards then, the ball back to Graham Calder, and oh, look at Sam Purlane taking a beautiful line and putting the ball out to Graham Lindsay, and Lindsay putting Ben Addison scorching in at the corner for a try after just 2 minutes to take Stirling into the lead. Things are going to get better for the home club. AJ McFarlane's chip into midfield, not quite where he had intended it. Lindsay again turning that ball in, but well, that was a wee bit of sleight of hand that nobody was quite sure what was happening, but Stirling certainly took advantage. Wee dummy there by Tim Clark, taking the ball into the heart of the Ayr defence and then spread out wide again. Lovely wee chip forward. Grant Anderson there to make the clearance for Ayr, but Ted Coates had spotted an infringement back in midfield and John Hope stepped up, and after 8 minutes Stirling were 8 points to 0 ahead after that penalty straight through the posts. It was all Stirling in the first quarter, but Ayr looking for possession, desperately needed the ball to get some pace on it, and when it did come, well, it wasn't quite how they'd expected, but that was Florian Marin up there, Richard McCallum feeding Grant Anderson, and Anderson out to Andy Wilson inside his own half, but the big winger striding away for Ayer's opening try. After 11 minutes, 8 points to 5, well, it was all to play for. AJ McFarlane popping the ball up there, wee fumble by Alan Robertson, hammered by Richard McCallum, but Stirling back in numbers. Oh, and look at that break by Masi Tuhakarena. My goodness, that was worth the entrance fee all on its own. A bouncing ball, but collected there by Graham Lindsay. The pass inside, hacked downfield by Ayr, but an offence again by the visitors. Up step John Hope. No mistake again, straight through the posts, and Stirling into an 11 points to 5 lead after only 16 minutes. Good ball from the line out for Stirling. Spread wide by Craig Deakins, but then a loose pass by Tuhakarena, snaffled up by Cammy Taylor, and he had Florian Marin inside him, and the Frenchman needed no second asking to go scampering over the Stirling line for their second try. The kick was missed, but Ayr now felt that they had a chance in the game, and looking for a lead going into half-time. They pounded onto the Stirling line, but Stirling defence was absolutely rock solid. Ayr looking for that gap, Stirling not giving it to them, and well, that looked like a try, but touch judge David Anderson reckons Stuart Finnick's foot had slid into touch, so Stirling go into half-time 1 point ahead, 11-10.
These highlights are brought to you by Simpson Donald Company. Simpson Donald Company are proud to continue the support of Stirling County Rugby Club and the fantastic work they do in developing the game from the youngsters all the way up to the first 15.
So Stirling taking the narrowest of leads into the second half, but they kept the pressure on. Justin Matheson driving into the air defence there, then laying the ball back for Graham Calder to find to Hakarena, and oh, look at that, he made it look so simple, but that was a beautiful piece of rugby by the Stirling standoff, giving John Hope the easiest of conversions to take Stirling into an 18 points to 10 lead after a quarter of an hour of the second half. Here we're going to have to do something to get back into the game, but Stirling continued to keep possession, take the ball forward, and well, Ayr just couldn't get it off them. Finally, AJ McFarlane digging the ball out there. Colin White driving forward. McFarlane again, and this time it's Stuart Fennick up to the 22, taken on by Scott Sutherland, but the Stirling defence still absolutely solid, but this time transgressing ever so slightly. Ball back with a hand, said Ted Coates. Up step Boris Furnial, and well, he'll heave a sigh of relief at that one going through the posts. 18 points to 13 to Stirling going into the final quarter. Again here, camped inside their own 22. The ball out to McFarlane. McFarlane, terrific break there. Andy Wilson outside him. No, he didn't use him. Ben Addison put in the tackle. McFarlane bounces up. Fraser McKinnon in there. Andrew Wilson. Back to Scott Sutherland. Furnial. Lovely wee run around pass off Richard McCallum, and Maran, well, that was a beautifully timed pass out to Cammy Taylor, and he just eluded the despairing tackle of Alan Robertson to give her the try. Not the easiest of kicks for Furnial. A good attempt, but sliding past the outside of the post. That one was going to prove costly for Ayr, but just as costly a few moments later was the opportunity that John Hope had to seal the game for Stirling in the dying minutes, but his kick too, just agonisingly wide, and touchdown behind the posts. Ayr still putting on the pressure now. Richard McCallum looking for the space, supported by Colin White, and Stirling digging in there. Gordon Reid knocked over. Furnial looking for space, but again the Stirling defence. Colin Eadie and Tim Clark driving in there, giving Ayr not an inch. And slow ball for Ayr, that suits the Stirling defence. Ayr are able to reorganise themselves, and even when Ayr's big men tried to take the ball on forward for a dramatic last minute score, Stirling were equal to the task, and still Ayr pounded on. AJ McFarlane organising his backs. A wee bit here to try and catch Stirling offside. No takers. Colin White trying to pound through, and then the ball whipped out, and Andy Dunlop finding Scott Forrest outside him, but the ball knocked down, and a penalty to Stirling to relieve the siege. My goodness, you could see the relief on their faces. And now deep into injury time. Last chance for Stirling. Matheson out there, Mark Hunter out there, and out to Ben Addison, but he's taken out by Andrew Wilson. The final whistle goes, and you know, a draw is never a happy result for the coaches.
We played some good rugby at times, but not consistently enough. Ayr are a good side, good strong side, and they've got a lot of threat in their backs. But we're disappointed with the draw.
Up front, we're not really firing yet. Another week in training, and we can take it from there and hopefully do well.
So honours even after a terrific match at Bridgehaugh. Stirling still undefeated, and Ayr still looking for their first win in Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 1. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Bridgehaugh.
These highlights are brought to you by Simpson Donald Company. Simpson Donald Company are proud to continue the support of Stirling County Rugby Club and the fantastic work they do in developing the game from the youngsters all the way up to the first 15.